Welcome back to Fort Worth's Finest Rabbitry. We are going to discuss the first place you've got to start when building your competitive rabbitry. Whether it's for meat pens for 100 days, a breeding rabbit, or you're going to have breeders, you've got to start out with the right housing. This is a typical 2x2 cage, door with latch or latches. You've got, which we suggest is a nameplate. That way you can kind of keep up. You can keep records, weights, if you've got meat pens, age of your rabbit, so you can kind of follow up on that. As you can see, commercial breed Californian, large rabbit fits easily and comfortably in a 2x2. When you're out searching for your housing, I suggest, especially for your first time people that don't know really if they're going to get into this, or all they're doing is meat pen projects, or they're only going to have a rabbit for a few months, that you look for some used cages, because sometimes kids are involved in a lot of things and then they don't end up staying with it. This way you don't have to tie in a lot of money. However, if you want to start off brand new and doing good, you can do that too. There's plenty of cage companies out there. I'll mention a few in a minute. But as you can see, typical 2x2. This particular unit has baby wire on it. We have breeding rabbits and we breed in these, and we don't want the babies to escape once the mom has them in the nest box. As you can see, they're elevated off the floor. This allows the urine and the manure to fall on the ground. If you have a different setup, let's say you're using a shed that has a wooden floor, you don't want to rot out the wooden floor easily, you can build a contraption of tarp or metal, corrugated metal, to allow the urine and the feces to drop and hit and put it at an angle and drop it off into a bucket. There's lots of different ways. There's lots of that posted on YouTube to help you out there. Now that you've got your cage, you got to be able to feed and water your animals. In big rabbitries, they typically have a water system, automatic watering, so they don't have to worry about it every day. They either go to a bucket that sits up high on the cage and then comes down with a tube and waters each rabbit. Everywhere that we've ever been, we've never had the ability to take multiple long straight rows. We've always, whatever our facilities have always been, has been more like rooms, and so for us that never has really worked out. So in our 20 years, we've mainly used either a watering bowl. This is a typical dog bowl that you can buy at Dollar General for $1, because again, I'm all about saving money, but this is good. But typically for a commercial type rabbit, they've at least got to have 2 of these full of water every day. Some people like the water bottle. The water bottle has a little strap that fits on the side of the cage like that. As far as feed, again, 1 bowl inside the cage is sufficient, or sometimes when you'll be out there, you'll get a J feeder. And that J feeder, there's a little cutout there, it slides in. Take these little arms, bend them over the top, and the food's on the inside, and you can feed from the outside. And a lot of people like that feature because they can feed from the outside. They don't have to open the door. Sometimes the problem with that is they stick out, and sometimes you hang your arm and say it's just personal preference. Again, a bowl or a J feeder. As for the height, it kind of depends on your kids and yourself. When you hang your rabbit cages, typically what we do is we put large screws in the back of the wall, long ones, put the cage on top, take the leveler, level it. Once we get it level, then we use these tension wires to keep it from rocking and give it more stability. Again, we put a tag on there so we know who, what rabbit, their birth date, who their mom and dad are, or if it's a meat pen, sometimes we'll keep their their weights on there on a weekly basis. But this way you identify who is what on each cage. Okay guys, a little different room, a little different setup. These are a little bit bigger cages. I got a heck of a deal on these. They were free, so I made them work for me. A little bit larger cages, J feeders on the outside. Again, we've got the name tag up here so we know who, what, how old they are. We can keep records that way. Again, we've got guy wires for support. In the wintertime, if they're having babies, we've got heat lamps that we're able to set out over the top. You'll notice these have different latches. These have more of the hook over latch versus the side ones. So when you find these cages, you know, you're going to have little different variations and you'll have to work. They already had the J feeders with them, so I went with those. Typically, because of me, I like the bowls on the inside, but that's just me. A lot of people love the J feeders. And as far as your housing, that's pretty much it. Make sure that it's clean, that it's kept in good shape, and as always, I need you to like us on Facebook at Fort Worth's Finest Rabbitry, and then please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know how we're doing, give us a few comments, and as always, Fort Worth's Finest emblem is the wagon wheel, and the reason that we do that is because we're rolling on down the road to the standard of perfection to be competitive in our show rabbits. Thank you, we appreciate you, and we'll be coming back at you with more videos.